Greetings one and all, this is Rhythm Works and welcome to my channel, and today this video is entitled Subs Are Like XP. Why you say that, Rhythm? Well, I will expand. Now this video is basically an analogy of what I'm about to discuss. It's some pre-recorded gameplay of myself in Uncharted 3 Co-op Arena. Now, as you can see from the left hand side, I'm playing in normal mode, which I do not normally play in. Is either hard or crushing, depending on who I'm teamed up with. But because I'm teamed up with two split screen players, level 17, you know, they're considered as new players to me anyway. So I have the choice whether to leave or to stay and help give them a good experience of the game. They both chose the normal, I didn't choose anything. So they were basically dictating the game, as most split screeners do when you encounter them in a lobby. Now, as you can see, I'm a level 75, Legacy 5 with the star. So I've maxed out completely. These are the two dudes, they're on level 17, just like I said. So they need help. Why I'm putting up this video is because of this. Gaming channels. The subject is coming up again, gaming channels. Well, the subject has never even left because this is up on a gaming channel. This is what people need to basically keep in their heads and remember and don't even stray from, okay? Gaming is the one thing that brings us all together. Whatever walks of life, whether you're potless or you're a multi-millionaire, gaming brings us all together. We all have the same love of gaming, okay? Gaming within itself is competitive, right? Gaming within itself is competitive to get as much kills and less deaths as possible, right? Just like the entertainment business is competitive. I'm with a record company and they're competing with other record companies to have the best selling artist on their label. It's just what it is, okay? Now, this video I made specifically not for the 3-digit sub-based channels, because I don't consider them as small channels anymore. You know, I'm talking about the 2-digit, even the 1-digit subscription-based channels, because I've met quite a few in the last 24 hours. Now, you need to basically think of it like this. In this gaming channel situation, there are levels of competition. People are competing. Be under no illusion. They might claim to be, you know, all on your side and on the side of the small man and the brother man and whatever, but they're competing. They're all competing to some degree. Now, to put it on another scale, there can be 4-digit sub-based channels out there, right, who are amongst 5-digit sub-based channels. And the 5-digit sub-based channels are basically saying, well, okay, I can see this 4-digit sub-based channel riding my freaking ass here, and I need to get rid of him, and I need to basically venture on and get as much sponsorship and get as much views and get as much subs as I possibly can, right? Because I don't like the way how he's basically stealing my thunder. Now, you're not going to hear no commentator ever say that publicly on YouTube. But be under no illusion that's what they're thinking. Okay, now, to bring it from that level down to this level, right? And I'm speaking for the small channels. Now, think of it as this. You as a small channel, you might have 8, 10, 15, 20, 35, 45, 55 subscribers, and your views are kind of reflective on that. Think of your subscriptions as XP within gaming. I know it might sound stupid, but it's going to make a whole lot of sense. Because if you think of it like that, then you will get to become as good as you need to be within your channel, depending on how much work you put in. I've watched a video from a random individual, and he was the person that actually inspired me to make this video. He said that in order to get good amounts of subscriptions and good amount of views on your channel, you have to basically work hard at your channel, right? And admittedly, he has seen smaller channels with much better content than his, but they never put the hard work in to maximize the subscription base and the views that they stood to get. And I thought that was very, very honest of him to say so, because you're not gonna hear that from other leading channels. But that doesn't mean they're not thinking it. Know what I mean? Now, I'm gonna spoil this video for you anyway, because I don't give two shits. It basically ends up with them rage quitting round 9 after they had one enemy to kill for us to go to round 10. I died in round 9 and they managed to die, and they were both together. I don't know how they did it, but obviously they're low-level players, so you know, I was expecting something from one of them, but it just didn't happen. And then when round 9 started again, I said we just got to stay together. And in their frustration, they rage quit. So they wasted my time, wasted their time, lost the amount of money that we could have basically earned from the game, and that was simply that. Now, the analogy is that the 2 level 17 players are what I would call the 1-digit or 2-digit subscription based channels, and my channel is the 3-digit, 4-digit subscription based channels. Although my channel is bigger than them and I'm trying to help them out, they're getting frustrated, where in comparison they can get into a match with another player just like me with 75 Legacy 5 with the star that would not give a rat's ass about these 2 players and would go around the map killing everybody and not giving them no kills, or even going to the extent of stealing their kills in a cooperative setting. Do you understand my point? For all the lower level or the low sub-based channels, what you need to do is don't watch what somebody else basically has and says, well, I want to get to that level, because you don't know how they got there. You got some of these sites where you can actually, you know, you can buy subs. You got some of these sites where, you know, you can hack. It's like you can hack certain things and basically get like thousands of subscribers. To me, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? But in gaming, people cheat anyway. They always find an exploit. And in YouTube channels, in YouTube land, that is no different. There's always a way to exploit something at the end of the day. So don't look on other people and see that they've got thousands of subscribers and think, well, they got that fairly or whatever. Some of them might do, you know, but there are some that don't. And there are some that don't give a shit. They will just basically bend over and spread their butt cheeks to get all the subscriptions and the YouTube partnerships they basically want. You know what I mean? You know, I find that the people that talk the most about subscriptions, they're the ones who really need it. Do you know what I mean? I don't even have to say anything about subscriptions, because it basically states on the tail end of my outro, comment, rate, and subscribe. Now, I don't understand why people have to be asking people for subscriptions, but you know, I do understand now, because even some of the big channels, and I mean the humongous channels, they say please comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'm thinking, well, why do you have to basically ask them to do that? And the answer is that it really is not in their second nature to do that, you know, just to sub on something they like without asking. There's only, you know, a certain amount of people that would basically subscribe because they see the content and they like the content, and they will just subscribe, you know, as standard, as nature, you know. But like I said, there are big channels, huge channels that will still ask and thank people for watching and what have you. And I do understand that. I do understand the courtesy thing at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? But really, the pleasure is mine if I'm watching a channel that is showing me good content for me to say, you know what, I like what this person's doing, I'm going to basically subscribe. So that's more or less that. So for me, subscriptions are like XP. No one's going to get exactly the same amount of subscriptions at one time. No one's going to be successful at the same time. You know, it just doesn't work that way. You know, and for me to reach where I reached in Uncharted 3 with my level 75 5th Legacy Star business, you know, it took me a while to do that. But then when I got there, I felt such a great sense of achievement to know that I'd done it off my own back. Because you're not going to go into your friends list, send them a message and say, well, you know, how did you manage to basically kill so many people at one time? The only way you're going to know that information is if you go onto their channel and they basically make up walkthroughs. And that's another thing, walkthroughs as well. You know, I look at walkthroughs in completely a different way than a lot of other people do. I look at walkthroughs as something like, well, why am I going to watch you do something that I've yet to basically do? It doesn't make no sense to me anyway, you know. And with what the PS4 is going to be offering, they're going to be offering the chance of friends to jump in other people's games in their console and have the ability to finish off the level, which I think doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, you know, to me anyway. You know, I mean, they can basically tell them, okay, you need to crouch down here, you know, and you need to camp here, or you need to basically get this gun here or that loadout. I understand all of that. But to actually have somebody jump in and actually take over your game by you know, remote access and what have you, I just don't think that is righteous. Because if you're going to be paying freaking £50 for a game to have people play it for you, it doesn't make no sense. You know what I mean? That you might as well watch a whole heap of walkthroughs on YouTube. That's the sense that walkthroughs make for me anyway. Let me see. Yeah, so you know, so the small channels, and I mean the real small channels, you know, don't lose heart. You know, don't lose heart. If this is something you really basically want to do, then go ahead and do it. But treat it like gaming within itself. Know that people are competitive, you know, because my biggest gripe is when I basically play a co-op game and you got people basically being competitive in co-op. And I say that because, you know, you have channels that claim to be on the side of the brother man and the other man and the small man, and they ain't. They're not. You know what I mean? Because if they're on your side and your channel just grows, you know what I mean? Of course they're gonna basically look and think, well, how the fuck did he get that? How the fuck did he get that? Because he's thinking that way. Whereas you, if you just basically do your thing, do what you have to do, you know what I mean? Streamline your channel and, you know, vary your programming and be consistent and persistent with it, then it's going to work out for you. Do you know what I mean? You know, the very fact that Angry Joe's got 2 million subscribers shouldn't be an issue to me. Do you know what I mean? Because of the fact that, you know, I don't know how he got those subscribers. But when I watch his show, I'm entertained by it. So in some ways, I can understand why he gets that, you know, because his content is varied and he puts a lot of effort. And I'm not just talking about fucking editing and putting up shit. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, even down to thumbnails and him buying, you know, costumes that basically coincide with the game and the subject matter he's talking about. That's when you're going the extra mile for that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, so really, you know, small channels, just do what you do, right? And if anybody says they're gonna freaking help you, yeah, appreciate it, but don't take it on board. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, sometimes it's when you really need the help, you ain't gonna get it, you know? And that's not your fault and that's not their fault. It's just the way they see what they're basically doing as more important to them as you are to them. Do you know what I mean? And I say that with no malice. It's just human nature, because we're on a freaking gaming forum, and a gaming forum is competitive by nature. So why should gaming channels be less freaking competitive? Do you know what I mean? There are communities and stuff and what have you, but even the community varies within their popularity. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it is. So look at your subs as XP, right? When you have the XP, you use the XPs, or no, don't say use, but utilize the XPs, you know, to your advantage by giving them and sustaining them with the reasons why they sub to you in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's all I've got to say. I could say a whole lot more, but, you know, I don't really want to, because it's what it is. And if you need further explanation as to what it is, then you need to stop this shit. Anyway, I'm out of here. And as always, whatever you do, happy gaming. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.